Be a part of Going In Raw today at patreon.com/Steven Larson. Starting at $1 a month, you can enjoy Going In Raw ad-free, gain access to the daily 30-minute Going In Raw post show, exclusive merchandise, and so much more. Support Going In Raw today. Click the link in the description.
Boys and girls, this is the Undisputed Era. Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, and you're listening to Going In Raw, baby.
What's up, it's your girl Sasha Banks, the legit boss, and you're watching Going In Raw. You like that?
This is Shayna Baszler, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? This is the most must-see WWE superstar of all time and his lovely, gorgeous wife,
Marie.
and you are going in SmackDown Live.
This is the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hey guys, this is Charlotte, and you're watching Going In Raw.
What's up? It's the moonwalking, trash talking princess of Staten Island. I want to remind you all that Mela is money, and you're watching Going In Raw.
Hi, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Just keep watching Going In the Raw.
This is the knockout artist, Cassius Ohno, and you're Going In Raw.
Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only... Where are we? Where the hell are we? Oh my goodness. We've disappeared. They've deactivated us, Larson.
Are
There we
are you
are.
still wearing your John Cena costume?
There we are. You couldn't see me. Hold on, we gotta bring up our saturation here. Here we go. Yeah, we don't need to do that one.
All right.
We'll just run with it. It's Friday. It's Crown Jewel Day. After today, we never have to talk about this shit again.
I know.
Hopefully.
Well, no, it'll come up on Raw.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, I mean, the events will come up on Raw, but I mean, we don't have to talk
build
about
up the actual event. We don't have to talk about it.
Oh no, we're not watching it. No, we're not watching it. So yeah, welcome to Going In Raw.
Hi, everybody.
The only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to right here, youtube.com/Steven Larson, and available wherever fine podcasts are. If you're listening to us in the audio realm, by all means, please hit the subscribe. Go to Going In Raw, click on subscribe, and then
comment, review,
yeah,
leave a rating, please.
Leave a rating.
It helps.
If you're on YouTube, click on subscribe and the notify bell, and then you'll have access to community tab notifications where we post polls and question threads like the one we're going to use for this show today.
Yeah.
The 300 people that are watching this live are probably wondering, this is Thursday. Why are you guys doing this? And then the people watching this first thing in the morning on Friday morning.
Why are they live streaming this at noon Pacific time like they always do?
What's going on? What did I miss? Well, because Friday morning is Crown Jewel, our time. It's 9 noon Eastern Pacific, or Eastern. We're not going to watch Crown Jewel.
No.
We have another thing that we're going to show you guys what it is in a second. But that's why we're doing the news show.
Yeah.
Now we're recording it and live streaming it. And then in the morning on Friday, it's going to go up. You guys can watch it and then join us. Join us. Now, we made the decision. We're going to be live streaming video games on YouTube.
Yes.
And we're going to be doing it for St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Correct.
The reason why, I know we mentioned that we were going to do it on the Twitch channel. The reason why we're doing it on YouTube is very simple. This money will not be going to us. This money will be going to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Yes.
And the bottom line is our audience is on YouTube. We've been slowly trying to chip away at building an audience on Twitch, but it's very difficult because we don't have 8 hours every day to spend there doing gaming stuff.
No, we don't.
And we wanted to, this isn't because, like, look, if it was just us, yeah, sure, get $50 off Twitch, but we're hoping to get $500
or more
off of YouTube to go to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
Yes.
It's a fantastic cause.
Yes.
Helping out little kids with terrible afflictions. And so that's why we're doing it on YouTube. We're also going to super duper
push the Streamlabs aspect.
There's a thing called Streamlabs.
Yes.
And whenever you donate money to Streamlabs, to us via Streamlabs, 100% of what you donate will be going to St. Jude's. If you're doing it on YouTube, 30% of that goes to Google. That's the same here with live streams. We don't really care. Google has given us a platform. Whatever, let them take 30%. But we're doing this for a charity tomorrow.
So we would like as much of the money to actually go to the charity instead of Google.
Yeah. Exactly. So consider looking into, all there is a link in the description. We're going to, half the time it's up here on the thing too. It's like Steven Larson 1, streamlabs.com/Steven, Streamlabs 1, I think it is.
Yeah.
all that money is going to go to
Yes.
charity.
Yes.
We're not collecting a dime of that.
Nope.
So that's what we're going to do. Oh, and you want to know what it is? I bet they want to know what it is.
Yeah.
You think they want to know what it is?
Let them know.
All right, here it is.
What is it? There it is.
WWE X New Japan Pro Wrestling in your house,
not Crown Jewel.
This is a very special in your house on WWE 2K19 New Japan WWE Supercard. This couldn't, and we're booking it.
Oh yeah, that's booked already. The matches are made.
The matches are set in stone.
Should we give them an idea about some of the matches they can expect tomorrow?
Yes.
Today.
Absolutely. Well, what you see here on the screen right now, Chill Roman, Okada, the two biggest main eventers of the modern age.
Yeah.
They're
clashing
going head to head.
Probably the only time in history this will ever happen.
In the main event.
We're going to have the Chase Owens Battle Royal.
Oh,
winner.
Because, yes, Chase
winner
Owens.
gets the Chase Owens belt.
Chase Owens is, of course, the crown jewel of Bullet Club. Yeah.
I'm not going to say the whole card. Here's just a sampling.
Okay.
A dream match, Daniel Bryan versus Zack Sabre
Oh,
Jr.
my God. I can't believe we're doing that.
Only time it'll ever happen. New Day versus the Young Bucks. Only time it'll ever happen.
Man.
Well, maybe not
Whoa.
that one. Finn Balor versus Tama Tonga.
Whoa. Who the fuck is you?
Of course, you got to have John Cena versus Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Oh, man. Okay, just stop right there. You got to stop right there. We got to leave some surprises for tomorrow. This is going to be out for tomorrow. I say tomorrow. If you're watching this live, or if you're watching this when it goes up Friday morning,
it's going to happen soon.
It's happening 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Instead of watching Crown Jewel, or do it on both TV screens. I don't care if you watch Crown Jewel. I'm not going to. It's a little weird. If you want to, go ahead. I'm not judging you. I don't think
you can
you're
either
a piece of
watch
crap.
Crown Jewel or watch not Crown Jewel.
Yeah. You can watch both Crown Jewel and not Crown Jewel and defy the laws of physics. I don't care. But we are going to be airing WWE New Japan in your house, not Crown Jewel. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have any women's matches on that card?
No, unfortunately. We'll work on that.
We'll have to do that.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll work on that.
Problem
yeah,
is
we'll do
New
that.
Japan doesn't have a women's division. That's a big. That's
I didn't announce the whole card.
What?
Dragon Reborn says, "Way to announce no women, Larson." It's like I didn't announce the whole card. We're still working. It's not done yet.
Oh
Completely
yeah,
done.
yeah. No,
we're gonna get it. We're gonna. I mean, if it's WWE versus New Japan, they don't have a women's division.
Who's in?
But we're working on that. We'll make it happen.
Who's in Women of Honor? That's like the closest thing. Is New Japan like the company affiliated with any of the? What do they call it? Is it called Joshi Wrestling?
Yeah.
The women's wrestling out there.
We'll look into it. We'll get it worked out.
Do you know? I don't know.
Becky Lynch versus. We'll make it happen. Promise. We'll make it happen.
Make it happen. Emma. She's a woman of honor.
I'm aware of that.
She's in Women of Honor.
I'm aware of that.
Well, Tenille Dashwood. Why were you giving me that stink eye?
Because that's her WWE name, man.
Oh, Tenille Dashwood.
Unless we do Emma versus Tenille Dashwood. There you go, dang MQ. Becky versus Mako Satomura.
There you go.
That'd be great.
That perfect. Hopefully somebody made her.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Anyways, my goodness gracious.
My goodness. Anyways, let's get to the news.
We got 2 super chats, and we'll do the news.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead, do the first one. I'll scroll down.
So Matt here, challenge. He said, "Hey, what Steve jack up my name, mess up my name?" Matt Leja,
or is it Leha?
I don't know. One of us has to be right.
I think so.
He said, "Thanks for the 2 streams. Here's some money."
Thank you.
Pretty Boy Fred said, "Missed the last few live streams. So happy I made this one." Well, we're happy for you. We're also happy to talk about the news.
Matt Leha says I'm correct.
It's Leha. Matthew Leha.
Oh, Josh Little. Who would win, Seth Rollins versus Pentagon Jr.? Depends where the match happens. If WWE.
That's a question that's kind of like who would win between Superman and Hulk. Like whoever writes it.
Yeah, it depends where it is.
But the correct answer is, wait, what was it? Seth Rollins versus who?
Pentagon.
Oh, Seth Rollins. Bigger star.
Yeah.
Bigger company, bigger star.
Yeah, I
guess
guess so.
Love Pentagon, though. Unless it's a hardcore match.
Or unless it's in Lucha Underground or TNA.
Seth Rollins would be a huge star there. There's no way they'd job him out there.
I don't know.
Massive star.
Pentagon is a hardcore guy. He's former champion.
What Impact's ratings would go from 98,000 to what?
If
Seth Rollins showed up.
Well, it'll get a huge pop the first week, but after that.
You think people just forget that Seth freaking Rollins is an Impact? That'd be crazy.
But no, people just realize it's still Impact, so it would get a jump. But it's not like
still with that stigma of yours.
It's still not like
go with that.
It's still not like they'd get to 1 million viewers.
It's great. It would probably be better. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Daniel Bryan and why he's not going to Crown Jewel.
Sure. So that's from the Wrestling Observer newsletter.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of details about the entire, it's like Meltzer was in Daniel Bryan's head or something. Or maybe he just talked to him. Who knows?
Or someone close to him.
Yeah, the Young Bucks. Meltzer talked to Cody, who talked to Daniel Bryan. That's what happened here. According to Wrestling Observer, evidently Daniel Bryan, who knew little or nothing about Saudi Arabia until he got there.
The first time for Greatest Royal Rumble.
Largely felt he couldn't go back under those circumstances. It wasn't so much that the women weren't allowed to perform, even though he's married to a woman wrestler and has a sister-in-law who wrestles. But the key was what he learned about the treatment of homosexuals, and also that they wouldn't allow Sami Zayn to perform on the show, and he considers that, appropriately so, racism.
Meltzer adds it was not the current controversy over Khashoggi that evidently made him make his decision, although one would think it made him feel more strongly that his decision wasn't wrong.
Sorry. I should.
That's fine. I got it. Apparently, Daniel Bryan requested to lose to The Miz at Super Showdown in Australia.
Yeah.
Although Meltzer adds that it wasn't. Sorry, I forgot to put the quote in here about why, or the context of it. Anyways. Although I don't know if when I think Meltzer said he didn't know if he asked when the stipulation about the title shot happening or the title match happening at Saudi Arabia had been announced yet.
I read that same thing. Didn't it have more to do with? Never mind. I don't know.
Anyways, and then when he told McMahon he wasn't going, both agreed to keep it secret.
Shh! Don't tell anybody. But then Barstool Sports, Robbie from Barstool Sports. What's his name? Robbie what? I don't see the thing.
Robbie Fox, I think.
Oh, there you go. Broke it a couple days later. I think it was like a week later.
Yeah,
it
was earlier this week.
Yeah, when that dropped.
So all these things makes one wonder because WWE can be petty.
Oh yeah, big time.
About whether Daniel Bryan was going to be punished for his decision not to go, and according to Brian Alvarez, a Wrestling Observer, the answer is no. He says the finish to the Styles versus Daniel Bryan match at SmackDown was the scripted finish for their Crown Jewel match, and that Bryan wasn't being punished. However, Meltzer adds in the newsletter that Bryan losing clean could be seen. It's quote hard to believe that all wasn't a message to the rest of the talent.
Yeah, there's some conflicting statements there within the Wrestling Observer staff.
Universe.
The universe, thank you. Dave Meltzer says it's not difficult to believe that wasn't a message being sent to people. You know, you defy Vince McMahon, you get a title shot, you lose to the best wrestler in the company clean in a really well-told story with a half-hour match. That, to me, doesn't sound like much of a message.
That doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like a message. It doesn't seem like punishment either.
It doesn't seem like punishment. Now, Brian Alvarez, on the other hand, he
has a tendency to speculate a lot.
I never get the gist. I never get the feeling that he has any insider info. That seems to be like mostly Dave Meltzer and his connection to the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Brian Alvarez usually just says
speculates.
Like he basically just does what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he listens to Dave Meltzer.
Yeah. As for John Cena, another crown jewel.
Well, hold on.
Wait, what?
There's one more thing we need to talk about.
The Raw Gate.
So in the Wrestling Observer, apparently there is a ring. Was it at the Performance Center?
It said it's nearby some sort of technology center.
I didn't see it at the Performance Center, but there is a ring that could be teleported to any location on the planet.
Apparently, it's like surrounded by green screen.
Well, he said it was in the newsletter. He said something like it's like green screen technology.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it like a holodeck?
Maybe. It's like how they shot Avatar.
Right. So there's a ring that they were actually considering using.
Having the match in this ring and then putting the actual stadium from Saudi Arabia behind it. So it looks like the match is happening in Saudi Arabia.
Were they going to call in some 2K19 people and get the crowd from 2K19 to be there?
Maybe. I have no idea.
I am so unbelievably disappointed they did not pull the trigger on that.
I know.
Hey, you know what? You want to get me to watch Crown Jewel? I will tune in for a match that is performed in Florida that they then
That
beam.
purports to be taking place in Saudi Arabia.
I would watch the shit out of a green screen match. I would watch that so hardcore. I don't care. They go to the nastiest place in the world. I would totally watch that shit. Because what was that? I was reading that like I was eating my breakfast and it woke me up more than my coffee did. I was like, what is this ring they're talking?
Oh, I know.
It's Rawgate.
I know.
They're just stealing Rawgate 2.0 technology from us.
I know.
If you don't know what we're talking about, watch We Book Raw. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
we have Rawgate.
Yeah.
Meltzer also talks about John Cena and perhaps his reasoning for not going. Quote, the belief is that Cena was advised with the transition from wrestling to Hollywood that would be looked at negatively in that world if he did a show in Saudi Arabia right now.
Sorry, Nick G in chat said Alvarez is the pro wrestling equivalent of a weatherman. He seems like a nice fella. I'm not talking crap.
For his career, pulling out was probably the smart move. He never said anything public, as he'll never do anything to damage the WWE and create a bigger controversy. But evidently, whether it was moral grounds or his growing career outside of wrestling, he made his decision. Brad Shepard said on Twitter that WWE tried to persuade John Cena at the last second with money.
I'll put an extra zero at the end of that check.
Shepard said via Twitter, quote, according to a source at WWE, the company made John Cena a very generous offer to persuade him into reconsidering his stance on working Crown Jewel, which, of course,
Netflix TV show.
He declined.
Yeah.
And then Hogan's going to be there, too.
So, as for Hogan's return being kept so low-key, quote, a commercial had been put together.
This is from the Observer as well.
Yeah. A commercial had been put together before Raw for Crown Jewel that featured Hogan in it and his return announced. Man, were they just looking to get more booze? Like, they're already getting a ton. It says, those in production were expecting it to be announced on Raw. The decision was instead to... Oh, so Cody works in production now? The decision was instead made to quietly list his name on the website without even a story. Then, according to WWE, due to a snafu, he was taken off that listing, but the company confirmed on 10/31 yesterday, 2 days ago,
To Pro
if you're watching
Wrestling
this on
Sheet, yeah.
Friday, to Pro Wrestling Sheet, that he was scheduled to host the show. What a weird thing to do.
I'm telling you, man. It's one of two things. Either try and get all the bad PR out of the way in one day. Or one show. Sorry.
but he's
it's going to be a lot of bad PR.
Is Hogan only going to be in Saudi Arabia then? Because at some point he's got to come back home. He's got to come back here and appear in front of cameras. Like, this isn't Hogan. Like, if this is, hey, Hogan's back, everybody. Like, is this meant to smooth his transition?
Maybe.
Let's put him on the most controversial show of the year that everybody's talking about boycotting.
Yeah.
And then let's bring him to, like, he's going to have the stink of racism and Saudi Arabia on him. The Saudi Arabia government with the murder stuff. I'm not talking about Saudi Arabia smells. It's probably a lovely smelling country. But he's going to have the stink of two controversies on him now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Like, boo, racist. Boo, you also wanted that thing that you shouldn't have done.
Well, I was speculating the other day whether it's that, whether they're just trying to deal with all their bad PR in one event, or it was a concession for Daniel Bryan and John Cena pulling out of the show.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, there is actually no, like, sort of, there's no element of strategy, right?
No, Meltzer just makes one reference that it was something that had been in the works for a while.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so here is the thing. No, I think he mentioned, or somebody, maybe this is just common logic. He goes to Saudi Arabia. They're not going to boo him there, you know. I'm guessing they're not going to boo him there. When you're removed, that's just my guess. I just don't think they're probably as in tune with, you know, they wanted Hulk Hogan to be there.
Yeah.
And, you know, Saudi Arabia is probably a little bit removed from, like, the how sensitive of a thing that is over here. So he's going to get cheered.
Probably.
There.
Probably.
But aren't they going to have to man? Boy, this whole thing is weird.
It is weird.
This is a twilight zone of wrestling.
Well, it's like, okay, here's a situation that's bad already, and rather than saying how can we improve the situation, apparently they're just of the opinion that let's just get everything bad out of the way. Maybe, I don't know, because you're making a bad situation worse.
I think
for them,
so.
For them, they're making a bad situation even worse by having Hogan involved in this in any way. I mean, Like, how much does Vince really need this money?
Sort of out of the book of sort of. It's a bit of yeah.
I mean,
is this sort of out of the book of Trump, dude? Like, think about it. Whenever something like some Russia shit's about to drop, what does he do? He talks about
he distracts. Yeah,
he distracts.
Yeah, it totally
like
could be.
We got this Saudi Arabia thing. Let's wheel out Hulk Hogan and distract from the Saudi Arabia thing.
Could be,
totally.
And that's why
it's not a good playbook. I'm not.
No,
saying
it's not. It's a horrible playbook.
It's just piles on the bad stuff.
And then in the second part of that playbook is when PR is horrible, just plow on through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's probably what they're going to do.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's so weird. It's just so weird.
It is weird. It doesn't seem. I don't get the strategy of it. Other than Vince just dislikes money. That's it.
Well, it's not even, dude. Here's the thing. It's not even that. I get like the Saudi Arabia thing is Vince likes money, but bringing out Hogan on the Saudi Arabia show, like I honestly don't understand the thinking behind that.
Well, unless it was the concession for having Cena
that makes sense.
And
that would actually make sense. That would make some amount of sense. I don't know, man.
I mean,
but apparently also like
Vince can't raise Yokozuna from the dead, as because they requested him.
According to the newsletter,
the Greatest Rumble.
According to they got Rawgate.
True.
According to the newsletter, like this came down to Vince's decision to continue to do the show in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Well, you'd heard that unless the State Department said no, that Vince wasn't inclined to cancel or postpone or move it. So.
Yeah, but it wasn't like contractually. Apparently, he was able to. There was some wiggle room there. Maybe postpone the show or something for a ways off.
Yeah,
when it's less controversial. I don't know, man. I do kind of wonder if Daniel Bryan pulling out. I mean, granted, this it all depends on what kind of stroke you have within the company.
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan just signed a new contract that he's evidently very happy with. Daniel Bryan does not care about wins and losses. Evidently, he's got his contract. He's got the schedule he wants, evidently, because we had always heard that was a big thing for him. So, like, he can stand on moral ground and be like, no, I'm good. There are other people that could totally do this. Seth Rollins could totally do that. I think Seth Rollins is probably as bulletproof as anybody else in the company, barring, not without John Cena, Lesnar, Taker. Kind of curious to know, like, if this is going to establish a precedent, guys who were on the full-time TV schedule anyways, saying, I want to go there. Mm-hmm. Or if they're all, like Randy Orton, he said, I got 5 kids, I need to feed them, and this is a paycheck.
Yeah.
Which is not, which in my opinion really isn't, that's not a, that's an appropriate take. That can be an appropriate take. Each their own.
Tommy Dreamer talked about it and said that, pro wrestlers, their job is to put smiles on people's faces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We mentioned Ronda Rousey's take on it.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
She harkened back to her Olympic experience and the unifying power of sporting event, so.
Yeah. So I don't know. To each their own. I just I didn't want to watch it because it just feels. Ugh.
Yeah, no. Well, it's one thing watching it, and then if we cover it like we cover all, everything else WWE does, and we'd be profiting off it.
Yeah.
And that's, ugh.
It does. It is getting a bit of a train wreck quality to it, though.
Yeah.
Like before, I was not going to watch it. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to watch the entire thing, but if weird stuff happens, which this entire thing has been weird. If weird stuff happens, I'll watch the weird stuff.
Yeah.
It'll
be unavoidable on Twitter. There'll be gifs all over
I know,
the place
exactly. Yeah.
From WWE and other places, so.
Anyways, we got this thing called WrestleMania.
You're skipping over a couple things.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Oh, yeah, Renee Young. Yay.
Yeah, she's going to be there. And Wrestling Observer notes that she has been given special travel arrangements. She's not traveling with the rest of the roster, apparently for her safety.
Wouldn't it be more safe to travel with the rest of the roster? These are people who are superheroes.
I know.
I'd be like, I'll travel wherever Braun is. I'll travel with him.
Yeah. Braun and Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, exactly.
And Meltzer speculates that the commentary team could potentially be moved from their usual spots in the stadium to some place that's not in front of the audience.
My eyes.
Well, and Meltzer mentioned in the newsletter too that there was, I think, like some Russian
circus. Yeah, with women in relatively tight clothing.
Yeah, and the organizers caught some flack from the government or something. But it wasn't a huge to do.
Yeah,
and
I don't know, man. I don't know. Another part of the world, dude. In other Crown Jewel news, PW Insider is reporting that Drew McIntyre and then WWE announced Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev made the trip to Saudi Arabia Nakamura Rusev will have a U.S. title match during the Crown Jewel kickoff show.
Yeah.
Is that happening at 8?
I guess so.
Or is that at 9?
I really wasn't aware there was a kickoff show until...
I can't be here at 8.
No, I'm not going to be
That's
here
way
at 8.
too early.
9 o'clock is
9
start
is
time.
like, yeah.
9 we will start.
Barely functional at 9.
I know. I'm going to bring donuts.
Mm-hmm.
Pastries and coffee. Do you have any requests, donut-wise?
Oh, man, you know what I like. Chocolate old-fashioned.
Yeah. All right. Dozen chocolate old-fashioned for Steve.
Why didn't they just have Renee Young going through Rawgate?
Good question.
No, Alex C. That's what. Yeah, commentary now from the Rawgate.
Yeah. Maybe they'll do what they do for NXT UK and have a commentary here in the States. Just do it in front of green screen, which is essentially Rawgate.
Yeah, there you go. Get Vic Joseph in that giant watch of his that keeps screwing at the green screen.
Well, it was for the first episode, he had his hand like this away from him, and you could see the Bad King. Anyways, that's technical stuff. You don't want to.
MPY.
It's not that fun to talk about. Anyway, let's talk about WrestleMania 35 because
it's coming up quick.
It is. It's
Man, we're heading into Mania season. Once you're at Survivor Series, just Survivor Series, Rumble, Mania. You're there.
And now that Roman Reigns is out of action for the foreseeable future, getting treatment for leukemia, there's been a lot of speculation about who will main event Mania this year. And Brad Shepard may have our answer because he tweeted, quote, a source in WWE on the main event of WrestleMania 35. This is what the source says. Quoting source.
4 minutes ago, the enforcer Stevie Bradley, $4.20. Here's some money for the Weekend Green Fund.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, I get it too.
Yeah.
Well, we're just going to use it maybe for some
donuts or coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
Quote, a source from WWE on the main event of WrestleMania 35, and this is quoting the source, aside from Rock formally agreeing to do a match, your main event is Ronda versus Charlotte or a mix of Becky, Charlotte, or both in a triple threat.
Becky's only going to get hotter and hotter, man. That's cool, though. If that's true that they're thinking Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, number one, I think it's rad.
Yeah.
But the idea that they're actually listening to the audience pops so heavy for Becky Lynch, and then change plans to insert her into the triple threat.
Here's an idea. Listen to this.
Are they listening to people now?
I don't know.
Is that what's happening?
Imagine if by whether nefarious means or not, Becky defeats Ronda at Survivor Series. Long shot.
Yeah, love it.
Charlotte wins the Rumble. She says she wants a piece of Rousey at Mania. Becky shows up on Raw and goes, hold on. I beat Ronda Rousey once already. Now I'm going to beat her again for that title.
Mm-hmm.
I want both the titles, not just one.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's really easy to set up that triple threat.
Well, Becky,
assuming Becky can beat Ronda Rousey. It's super easy.
She already said, I'm the best in the SmackDown women's locker room, and I'm the best in the Raw women's locker room. And if I have to go over there to knock some heads, I'll do it. So you're already setting up sort of a cross-brand thing that can go past Survivor Series and should go past Survivor Series. That could be a killer match. That could be a killer match. As long as it doesn't end with Ronda Rousey tapping them both out at the same time.
Oh, gosh, I know.
Like she did Riot Squad.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no. That'd be terrible.
That would be terrible. Speaking of Ronda Rousey, according to Pro Wrestling Illustrated, in their Women's 100, Ronda Rousey's the best women's wrestler in the entire world.
Well, yeah, man. Look what she's done. She tapped out 2 people at the same time. That's crazy.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
So she topped the list, even though she's only had 10 matches this year.
Hey. Kayfabe. This is all kayfabe.
Oh, I know. The list covers accomplishments accrued between October 1st, 2017 and September 30th, 2018. Here's the full top 10. Are you ready?
Big events.
1, Ronda Rousey. 2, Alexa Bliss. 3, Charlotte Flair. 4, Io Shirai. 5, Asuka. 6, Shayna Baszler. 7, Carmella. 8, Nia Jax. 9, Mayu Iwatani. 10, Kairi Sane. No Becky Lynch in the top 10.
Well, she wouldn't be, though.
She was on a win streak even before she got the title from Charlotte at Hell in a Cell.
What was the date?
Mid-September.
Mid-September?
No, I understand. When I saw the period that this list covers, I understood why Becky wasn't in the top 10, but still. She should tweet about this and be mad about it.
Well, everybody else has been champion during those times. Charlotte was champion during that time. Alexa was champion during that time.
Ronda was.
Carmella. That's why Carmella
Asuka wasn't. She won the Rumble. That was it.
She was an NXT champion from.
I don't believe so.
When did she get called up? She got called up
before. It was was October last year.
October of last year, really?
But she won at TakeOver Brooklyn 4, whatever year it was last year, and then was hurt. She broke her collarbone during the match and didn't have another match in NXT. She had to vacate the title.
Yeah, that's a little suspect. But yeah, I mean that all makes sense. PW, it's so silly because people get so they get their panties in a bunch over PWI lists.
It's kayfabe,
and it's all just kayfabe.
Yeah,
it's all just according to story. Who's best? Ronda Rousey, according to story, is obviously best.
She tapped out 2 people at once.
She freaking manhandled Triple H in a match,
yeah,
which was amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So I'm fine with that. Yeah, Becky Lynch, depending on how Mania goes next year, she'll probably be number 1 next year.
She should be tops.
Definitely number 2.
She should be tops next year.
Yeah. How many, when do they release the full list and how many names on the full list? Oh, 100.
100.
Okay, that makes sense. It's the women 100 list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Becky will be top 20 for sure.
For
right?
sure? Guaranteed?
For sure?
Is it a lock?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe not. What is this all about? Huge names heading to WWE
Yeah, this is a weird
soon?
story. This is from the newsletter, and it's very vague. Quote, a lot of new talent is scheduled for medicals in mid-November, as far as coming to WWE, with plans for a January debuting class. We don't have any names yet, but if you start hearing about people canceling their 2019 indie bookings, that could be a start. They are pursuing 2 of the top workers in the business, but I don't think contractually either could make it by January. Plus, it may not happen since both are significant stars in major league companies.
Speculate.
Let me say 2 of the top workers in the business. Think Young Bucks.
No, man.
Or Pentagon and Phoenix.
3 words for you. Zack Sabre Jr. He's a major star. And think about the best workers in the business. Zack Sabre Jr.'s up there. He's a major star in New Japan.
You haven't heard the same level of buzz about WWE pursuing him as opposed to guys in the Elite.
Yeah, but I mean, come on.
Pentagon and Phoenix.
That's all like.
And the Lucha Underground season is wrapping up relatively soon, at which point.
Damn Lucha Underground contracts.
If the show. I thought I read somewhere, I could be completely wrong, that there was an out clause after season 4, which is the current season they're in. Or if the show gets canceled, obviously, then the cancels are.
Stevie
Bradley contracts are.
Stevie Bradley kicked in $20 on Streamlabs, which means we get all that $20 for donuts tomorrow.
Nice, thank you, sir.
Nice, thank you, Stevie Bradley. So I want chat to speculate. Look, I'm taking the Elite out of this. He's not talking about the Elite right here. There's no way he's talking about the Elite.
Well, he said 2. There's more than 2 people in the Elite.
No, I'm talking about anybody in the Elite.
Oh yeah,
they're a story unto themselves.
Well, who else could it be? Who are 2 of the top workers?
Who are the top workers?
Kenny Omega.
Hey, Matthew Denton here says Walter.
Yeah,
that's not a bad one because there's also a little write-up in the newsletter
about a relationship between WWE and WXW.
Yeah, because they're letting Marcel Bartel. Well, I forget his name in WXW, but Marcel Bartel.
Was Axel Dieter Jr., right?
Thank you, very good.
Yeah.
Walter, that's a good one.
Ospreay.
Would you consider Ospreay a major star in New Japan?
Yeah.
Consummate junior champion.
What about Neville?
What?
Oh,
Adam Mayhem.
Yes, there you go.
I don't consider Shane Strickland like a major star or a major star in a big company. He's a major star on the independent circuit.
See. What's major league companies? You got New Japan, you got Ring of Honor, you got
Triple
Impact,
A,
I guess.
Dr.
Triple
Wagner
A.
Jr.,
Yes.
Double J according to Sergio C.
And so let's consider those major league companies. Ring of Honor, Impact, New Japan.
Whoa, you're saying Impact's a major company? Nice.
I mean, they got a TV deal.
That's true.
It's more than a lot of other promotions have.
For now.
Anybody in Impact?
Austin Aries.
He's a free agent.
He's a free agent now.
I have a feeling that WWE's cool with not bringing him back.
Okay, Impact has is Moose considered one of the best workers?
He's wildly entertaining, but I don't know
so
if
great.
he would be considered one of the best
Freaking
workers.
love Moose. Hey, Tessa. Maybe Tessa.
Yeah, but I thought she had signed a multi-year deal with Impact.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you're right. I think you're right about that.
I mean, you got to think.
Eli Drake. Dummy, yeah.
You got to think.
Brian Cage? But I think he just signed a deal, too. I think he's going to be there.
I mean, that's been Impact's MO of late.
Sammy has said he wants to be in Impact. James Storm. Oh, that's a good one.
God, completely lost my train of thought.
Del Rio.
Oh gosh,
terrible. So Ring of Honor. Who's even in Ring of Honor anymore?
It was Jay Lethal.
Cheeseburger.
Gordon.
What if it's Cheeseburger?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Flip Gordon.
Flip Gordon.
Does Ring of Honor have any major stars that aren't in the Elite? Who's their TV champion? Jeff Cobb. I feel like they're in a reloading period.
Jeff Cobb, yeah.
Jeff Cobb's great, but he's not. I don't consider him a major star in a big company right now. He's going to be.
Yeah.
And he'll be in a year from now or whenever his contract is running up with Ring of Honor. They're going to be talking about Jeff Cobb.
Who's left in who's left of the regulars from PWG?
I wonder if Dalton Castle injured himself out of a contract.
Could be. He's back, but it seemed like he lost all his momentum.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Wade Barrett. Just trying to think of
PCO. Yes.
of PWG regulars. Who's still around? Who's still wrestling in PWG?
Brody King.
Yeah.
But they already have Aleister Black.
Yeah. Joey Ryan. It's just weird that he's that vague about it.
Dude, I know, right? Yeah, but I do.
It almost qualifies as non-news.
Do you feel me about the Elite thing, though? The Elite's their own story.
No, I know.
I kind of feel like
and
that's
for him
the case.
just to say two.
It's very specific.
Which makes you think it's Penta and Phoenix.
That's a good point. Oh, yeah, because there's been rumors about them anyways.
For a while.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
That would be great. Have him bring his spikes and a baseball bat.
Heck yeah.
It's a Seth Rollins head.
Introducing first, that hardcore guy from TNA. Penta El Cero M.
Cero Mero. I always think that I'm going to say zero poop.
I know.
Because mierde is poo-poo.
Yeah.
But
miedo.
Cero Miedo.
Miedo, yeah, sorry.
Miedo is, I mean, it's like saying
fear.
Yeah, it's like saying, shirt and shit. It's just separated by one letter.
Yeah, I know.
But they mean two different things.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, it's the Briscoes. What is this, 10 years ago?
I don't see how them boys would work in WWE these days.
I really don't.
No.
I really don't. They're scary.
Oh, yeah.
Trent and Chucky D.
Oh, that'd be great.
Dude, you going to NXT? I don't know.
I don't know.
Nobody picked me up.
You think someone get this coffee out of my jacket over there?
Oh, man. Mierda, not mierde. Mierda. Poo-poo. Anyways.
All right, you want to take some questions?
Yeah, let's take some questions.
All right.
Donde está mi community tab? I'm going to do it in the community tab.
Oh, okay.
Do we have more super chats?
Yeah, let me look at that real quick.
Let me look at that real quick. James Robert, do you think any superstars are being forced into going to Saudi Arabia?
Well, I mean, publicly they said anybody has the right to opt out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure no one's being told you'll get fired if you don't go.
Nobody has to get told.
I'm sure the impression is things would probably be better unless you're someone like Cena or even Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Is like, hey.
Like Orton he would have been fine if he said no.
Yeah.
Any number of those guys would have been fine if they said no.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's going to happen in the New Day if they say no.
No.
Thebar is sort of on the
Yeah, I almost said Jeff Hardy, but I think...
Oh, no, I think Jeff Hardy would be okay.
Yeah.
He'd be fine. Little difficult for Ray to say no.
Yeah.
Because he just showed up. So
like guys who just showed up.
And they let him do All In. And is he on the Jericho Cruise?
Yeah, I think he made it on the Jericho Cruise.
They let him do all that stuff.
So, Joe Juarez, I was not expecting a second show. Praise
Slanesh.
That means
I don't know what that is. I might have just said a bad word. MOS brethren, if you had the opportunity to do a podcast length interview with any wrestler, past or present, who would you guys choose? It'd be Vince. It'd be Vince. The story, like literally all the stories that I would love to try to get out of him.
Flying Shoe Man, here's to hoping Crown Jewel ends like WrestleMania 9 with Braun being Yokozuna.
So Hogan coming in and taking the title off Braun. That's what I asked you, man. I said, what is the precedent for hosts to insert themselves in the title scene.
The Rock is the closest thing, but that was a year in advance.
Yeah, well, Hogan, he's setting the groundwork, man.
Oh, gosh. Man. Do you think they would take... How much money would it take for that to happen?
Oh, the sound... Oh.
Like if the General Sports Authority says, we want this show to end. We lost Cena. We lost Daniel Bryan. We want the show to end. We want Hogan at the show, and we want him to end the show as Universal Champion.
There isn't... astronomical. But I think the number exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
The number exists.
It does.
What's the market cap? What's the valuation?
On WWE?
Yeah.
On the billions.
It's like $7 billion? Something like ridiculous.
That. Yeah, it's a lot.
Which is a lot of money. So, because I was going to say, like, would $1 billion get it done? 1/7 of the company, would that get it done?
They probably would think, well, we'll take this money. We can write ourselves out of this situation.
At some point, don't they just say, no, we can't do that?
At what point you got to think? You think we'd be past this point by now? Well, your credibility won't have a price tag.
Yeah, you would think. So, like, there's some other write-up stuff in the newsletter about the earnings call, which is boring stuff mostly. But there's also there's a good segment in there about enthusiasm for the product
and how price
being down.
Spending per capita is down, yeah.
Yeah. So you got like house show attendance is down.
Merch sales are down.
No, merch sales are actually up for whatever. Yeah, weird reason.
Oh, that's
weird. I think he said merch sales were up. I didn't really look too deep into that. But, TV ratings, house show attendance. Apparently this is the first year since like the mid-'90s that the house show circuit has not been profitable.
That's interesting. Maybe they'll stop doing so many house shows then.
I told you this. Yesterday I was listening to the god-awful rock station out here in Sacramento because they have this really terrible show. I just happened to come across, I was looking for music and I came across these guys and they happened to be giving away WWE tickets. And they said, one of the dudes said to the other guy, hey, do you watch wrestling? The other guy was like, no, I used to though. What do they got, like 3-4 shows a week now?
The newsletter.
Hard to keep up.
Meltzer says this week there's 20 hours of original WWE content between Evolution, Crown Jewel, Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT, and NXT UK, which has 2 episodes this week.
I was cracking up because we're in the middle of our NXT UK recap, and then somebody in chat reminded us that, hey, they put 2 episodes of UK up and you guys only reviewed 1.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Like, I read it like offhand somewhere, like on Meltzer or something like that. But man, it's just, there's a lot. And it's kind of like, for me, like, because I'm a nerd for comic books, it's kind of like diving into like comic books these days where like DC has a million different Batman comics, a million different super. You got to figure out what universe they're in. And it's kind of the same, I think, for Marvel. It's just hard. It's so time consuming. Beyond, you take the expense thing out because the network's actually a really good deal. But like, it's so time consuming to just figure out where are we right now, And I get that each show can be watched as its own thing. It totally can. I'm not sure the general public who might if there's people out there who've fallen out of wrestling who might be interested in wrestling, understands that necessarily. I just don't know.
Yeah,
but I mean, anecdotally, like it feels like there's been a drop off in. I mean, we've seen on the polls that we do. How many people say didn't watch this week?
Yeah, there's been a drop off in enthusiasm.
Sometimes it's been like half. And, sadly that affects our business because more people aren't watching our recaps. And I've noticed this across other wrestling channels as well. You look at other wrestling channels and you look what they were doing a year ago, numbers wise versus what they are now. Enthusiasm is down, man. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know. I mean, here's my thing. I really love SmackDown. I think it's great. It's great, right? But I also recognize that Raw and SmackDown, they lack that buzz. It lacks that one thing that you're like, oh man, I have to check this out. It's just SmackDown. I happen to really enjoy. Like, their creative is steady, it's stable. The roster is fantastic, but there's nothing that's ever like, oh my god. That was, whoa, I can't believe that. Just like, I have to watch it. It's like, oh, cool. You got a 30-minute title match, a really good wrestling match. That's great. But wrestling is supposed to be about bang, bang, like cool stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And they just lack like what we see with like stuff like with All In and to a degree in New Japan. Like, we get that kind of stuff, a bit more.
Yeah.
And I think some of the enthusiasm just, is gone. So, and it's just, there's so much stuff.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I don't even know where my freaking point was there.
There's a lot of stuff. That's the point.
There's a lot of stuff out there. Shoes McGee asks, he says, totally understand and respect your decision not to watch Crown Jewel. But playing devil's advocate, WWE should still go to Saudi Arabia, as there are thousands of WWE fans that are just normal people like you and I, people that have nothing to do with the royal family nor the assassination of Khashoggi, just so long as they minimize the obvious propaganda. I absolutely get that. I totally understand that point. I really do. Be a bit different if the WWE put on the show themselves in Saudi Arabia. But this is part of a propaganda machine that's being orchestrated by the Saudi government.
Yes.
And that's sort of the issue.
It's
we do a bunch of stuff that's not great, but we want people to think that what we do is great. There's the whole situation in Yemen, which is not great at all.
No, it's terrible.
It's awful.
It's terrible.
And I think that's kind of the thing. It's like, if I'll put it this way also, if, for example, the WWE was being paid a crap ton of money by the U.S. government to be a propaganda machine for whoever might be in office.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say it's a guy who's in now, or if people didn't like the guy who was in before, if it was the guy, it was that guy. If it was like a propaganda machine, just saying, oh, look, these people are great, I would have a huge problem with that. I'd be like, dude, I don't know, I might have to find another job or something.
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of wrong, It's just kind of wrong. It shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't.
So,
I mean, I get referring to Tommy Dreamer's point earlier that their job of pro wrestlers and wrestling companies put smiles on people's faces, and that should be their primary job. It should not be. It should be entertainment. They shouldn't be operating as the propaganda arm for any governmental entity.
Yeah.
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 DC 5-Speed had a McGangbang earlier. Now I feel like crap.
Well, yeah.
What is that? A McChicken and some sort of hamburger mashed together.
It wasn't like a McChicken and gravy or something like that.
No, it's a chicken sandwich and a hamburger.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Let's see here.
I'll go to Twitter.
Oh yeah, we got a bunch on Twitter too.
Yes.
Brandon Lopez. Who do you guys think will get called up after the next Mania?
Probably Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. Aleister Black, Nikki Cross, Shayna Baszler for sure. Shayna might be sooner than that. Shayna's going to be in the Women's Rumble this year, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's totally going to be in that. That's going to be good.
Devin Panzarella, how does Charlotte choose between Becky and Rousey when she wants to get that win back versus Becky and headline WrestleMania versus her former best friend versus the money match? Personally, to try and get my friend back, putting her in the spotlight of WrestleMania is a grand gesture. I know that would be interesting.
Oh, Becky sees the error of losing her friend. No, man, I don't want to see that.
I mean, if Becky,
that's if they wrote it well, that'd be an interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I love Becky. She just
I'm trying to think if there's a way they could wrap up. Say it is Rousey versus Charlotte versus Becky, main event of Mania.
Rousey's henchwomen, the 4 horsewomen, attack Charlotte, get brutal with her. Becky Lynch makes a save.
Something
logically that could make sense.
Some way to because just by Becky adopting her new personality, and if that carries her all the way to Mania, why would she reevaluate that decision?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no,
it's
I
going to
agree.
take some external force.
Yeah.
Josh Little, do you think that Candice LeRae would be believable as a heel, or do you guys think it'll be like Becky Lynch?
Well, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Candice LeRae is heel. Believable, yay or nay?
Oh, yay, absolutely. I think she could pull it off. I don't know if she's... I mean, I'm sure she's worked heel on the independent circuit.
Oh, yeah.
But I honestly don't know.
Don't know.
I mean, wearing all black and changing your hair to include bangs is probably a good first step.
Mm-hmm.
Black lipstick, too.
Ron Armenta, what would be a likely scenario where Becky could beat Ronda at Survivor Series without negatively impacting either superstar? I mean, if Becky had to cut corners to win, it wouldn't negatively impact Ronda.
Yeah, if Becky annihilated Ronda over the head with a belt.
Yeah.
And then, if it was a cheat win.
What about this?
Go ahead.
Here's something we haven't thought of.
Go ahead.
What if Becky makes a phone call to Shayna Baszler?
Okay.
And they help her defeat Ronda.
Oh, man. I don't know, man. Shayna seemed very, very insistent that she be with her friend on Raw. And I don't know if she would.
I'm just putting that out there. I don't think it's going to happen.
That'd be cool if Becky paid her a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Says, I know you've been making that crap NXT change over there. So here's some
real money.
Here's $300 to turn on your friend.
Mike.
Wow, $300.
Do y'all think Finn is completely out of the main event scene, or do you think there's still hope? Right now, he's completely out of the main event
Finn?
scene. Yeah,
He's about to lose the feud to Bobby Lashley, who isn't even close to the main event scene either. Yeah. So sadly, so very sadly, Finn Balor is in territory where they're not sure they can make any more money off him, even though he makes them a lot of money, and so they're not going to do much more with him.
You know what position Finn is in right now? Dolph Ziggler, circa 2013.
Yeah. Oh God, don't say those names together, please.
He's Dolph Ziggler in 2013, after Dolph won the title, cashed in on Del Rio.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He's like popular enough that he sells some merch and gets good pop, but they didn't really see top of the card potential in him.
Mike Adams.
I hope I'm wrong.
Mike Adams, I think you're probably right. Would you rather see AJ versus? Well, I think the difference is I'm not sure it's not that they don't see him as top of the main event material. I think there's just so much main event material.
It's true.
Would you rather see AJ versus Braun or Joe versus Braun at Survivor Series?
AJ.
Oh yeah, AJ. Absolutely, that'd be great.
Monkey D. Luffy. This is a good question. Would Becky be as loved if she stayed face and won the title at SummerSlam? I feel like heel Becky is a lot more interesting than what we would have gotten. Agreed.
Yeah, I agree completely. Yeah.
I think everybody, Becky and everybody in the crowd, needed that cathartic moment where she turned and beat the heck out of Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
I think
that crowd popped huge.
Yeah.
Just like when Bayley said, "You ain't shit."
Yeah.
People popped hard, but then
you hear that people were about to pop if Cedric had lumbar checked Mustafa Ali on 205 last night.
They gasped.
That was crazy.
Dragon Reborn, would you make Going in Raw hats? 2019, that'll be a thing. We'll do that
totally.
in 2019. Probably not before the
snapbacks,
holidays.
trucker hats.
Yeah, trucker hats or snapbacks. Snapbacks probably. Those are popular.
Yeah, not fitted.
I prefer fitted, but snapbacks are probably more popular.
Well, they're more efficient use of money because instead of buying stock in every size, we only need to carry one size.
Because one size fits all.
Ron Armenta, what would it take to bring Asuka back to the top? Wins.
Dad hats.
Dad hats. Beanies. That's a good idea. Wins. Asuka needs to win. She needs to go on a winning streak. They need to build up the sense, the aura, the mystique of Asuka again.
And it's really easy.
Wins, and she needs to destroy people.
Dominant wins. Bring in some local jobbers.
Dang MQ says berets.
But look at my Going in Raw beret. Retro Alchemist. Who should Kevin Owens feud with when he returns from injury? Man, give me a good Kevin Owens Finn Balor feud.
Yep. Forever TH. What is your favorite NXT takeover of 2018?
All right. When was War Games was last year, obviously. That was November.
Yeah.
What was the one after War Games?
Takeover Philadelphia.
What happened there?
That was Gargano Almas.
Probably maybe that.
That match was outstanding. So that one had Gargano Almas, Aleister Black, Adam Cole, an Extreme Rules match. That was good. Ember Moon, Shayna Baszler, Velveteen Dream versus Cassius Ohno. And then Undisputed Era versus Authors of Pain.
Go to the next one.
That would be New Orleans.
No.
That had Gargano Ciampa, Aleister Black versus Almas.
That's where he won.
Yeah. Undisputed Era versus Authors of Pain.
That was a hell of a match. Adam Cole.
Oh, that was really good. Shayna Baszler.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. That's
the North American title, yeah. That was a good show, too.
The ladder match for the North American title. That show. That was New Orleans? Yeah, that's the one right there.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Oh, boy. That ladder match, that was so much fun.
Yeah, that was great. W.S. Fletcher, so attending a social and biological determinants of health workshop meeting tomorrow. Any suggestions on how not to look like I am on my phone listening to you guys?
Oh, man, I got on my phone to watch SmackDown during my stepson's 8th grade graduation. I was pretty.
You're pretty discreet about it?
No, I was pretty open about it.
Oh, all right.
I was just sitting here like this. With my earbuds in. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Just stare at whoever's talking and go like this.
Well, I mean, if it's like a seminar where you're, in a larger audience, as long as you got, something in your ear to listen,
Lashley.
You don't have to watch anything.
Canon SG says, I don't plan on watching Crown Jewel, but do you think a lot of fans boycotting that particular show, does it actually matter? The WWE got a bunch of TV money from Fox. Doesn't feel like they care about what we as fans think anymore.
No, they don't care. They don't care. The only way they would change anything is if sponsors pulled out.
That's simplistic. I mean, I think to a degree they have to care. I'll put it this way. They care to the extent that they can make money off it. That's how much they care. So when they figure out how to whose merch to sell, it's because the fans care about those particular wrestlers. So there's an element of them having to give a damn about their business. Do they care about our feelings? No.
No, they don't.
No, should they? It's a business.
No. Short of like a huge exodus of network subscribers, they don't care.
How huge would that have to be? Because that's what he's talking about 40%. Right here.
If 40% of network subscribers canceled their subscription, they would pay attention to that.
I think 20% would.
Oh yeah.
20. Like what you're talking about is let's panic and bring in, let's pay Stone Cold $10 million to come back.
Yeah. But it would take a large amount of people canceling their network subscriptions.
It would take a massive amount, and I simply don't think it's going to happen. I to that degree, I just don't. It's not going to make that. I think they probably maybe noticed like a little bit, but it's going to be acceptable. And here's the thing about it too, is that all those people who are canceling their subscriptions, they're all going to come back because it's the WWE. And I know, I mean, I'm sure there are people out there who are legitimately not going to re-sign up, but I don't know. In the end, does it really matter that much? This is wrestling. Cancel your subscription, make your statement, and come on back. If I was a fan, if I didn't rely on the network for my job, there's a possibility I'd do that. If I was just regular
Steve here,
not podcast Steve here.
Yeah. King Drew, do you think there's a possibility Velveteen Dream will win the NXT title at War Games? No. Ciampa's keeping that belt. There's only one person Ciampa's losing that belt to, and it's Aleister Black.
I even wonder. Yeah.
That's got to be the story. Has got to be Gargano helps Aleister get that belt back. That's got to be the story.
I don't know, man. Candice LeRae was in all. That was pretty stunning. I sort of undersold it on the recap show.
Kind of came out of nowhere.
That was pretty stunning. She didn't come out in her regular stuff and saying, "Hey, look, I'm trying to hold my relationship together. I'm holding my family together." She came out thoroughly.
Yeah, she was all
healed up, man. Heel. I think they might. I'll put it this way. I think we're more likely to see a double turn where Ciampa's the bad guy and Ciampa's the good guy and Gargano's the bad guy for a spell.
Potentially.
What if this feud goes 2 years?
Oh, that'd be great. I think that'd be great. Nick Bartlett, is the Lucha House Party TJP storyline going to wrap up and end up being masks versus hair? Yeah, that'd be great.
TJP probably has a great looking bald head.
Yeah.
Unlike me. Lumpy.
Oh, man, I think you sell yourself short in that respect.
Nah, man. I'd look like freaking, who's that dude in the Addams Family?
There's a lot of dudes in the Addams Family.
Uncle Fester?
Oh, the bald one, yeah.
Is that? That's what we're talking about right now. I'd look like Uncle Fester, man.
Didn't Christopher Lloyd play him in the movie?
It'd be the TV version.
Oh, all right. Radiate, Power Rank Top 5 Intercontinental Champions. Both of you.
We both have to Power Rank Intercontinental. Yeah. Who's top Intercontinental? That was Miz.
Miz, then Chris Jericho.
Miz, Jericho, RVD. China. She broke barriers to get that thing.
I'm going to put Dolph Ziggler at number 5.
Ugh, you would. He probably is number 5.
He's had a lot of reigns.
I'm just so tired. I'm tired of seeing his face, dude.
I understand.
I'm so tired of seeing his face.
I understand, man.
Oh, this is a great question. We'll end on this. What if God shot another God?
Wait, what?
What if God shot another God? This is coming to you from Omega Experiment. That's amazing. What if God shot another God?
What if Gorilla is a Destiny shot another Gorilla is a Destiny?
Oh, man. I don't know even how to answer that.
I don't either.
Aren't gods impervious to bullets?
Not necessarily, unless there's some special divine God ammunition they use on each other.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it has to be some sort of...
Like a God bullet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also like this question here. Matt Dale says, who'd win in a fight, Larson or 2 Frito burritos?
2 Frito burritos get the edge.
They really?
Yeah.
Would they be thrown at you by somebody?
No. If I were doing it, like if it's me versus 2 Frito burritos, if I eat 2 Frito burritos,
be stuck in bed for a spell, huh?
I would just be tired.
Oh man.
Gassy.
Oof, ouch.
So they would win.
Yeah.
They would win.
Anyways, we all win. We all win in that case. Let's get some music. Hilton.
Hilton.
Can we get some music, please?
Music, please.
There you go. There's the music. Is that playing right now? Yeah, it's playing. Awesome. Good job, Hilton.
Thank you, Hilton.
Anyways, that's it for the show. Thanks so much for tuning in. Check us out. We're going to be playing some video games right here at YouTube. In your house. Not Crown Jewel.
Not Crown Jewel.
Coming up 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern, right here, youtube.com/TeamLife. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.
Goodbye.